All right, what's up, DVW fam? If you guys have been to this city and could tell from the hustle and bustle behind me and all of the scooters, we are currently in Hanoi, Vietnam right now, the capital of Vietnam. So you guys know how we're gonna do on Dan vs World. We're gonna give you guys an update of first impressions of Hanoi, Vietnam in 2025 and show you guys all the cool things we see, do, and eat, the food, the culture, the vibes, top attractions in this video. So make sure you guys stay tuned. It's gonna be a movie. So yeah, let's go check out Hanoi, Vietnam in 2025. Let's get it. All right, DVW fam. So as you guys can see, we're on a railroad here. And you might think, like, we're on a railroad, so why are you walking on a railroad? But this is actually a very popular tourist destination in Hanoi, Vietnam. It's called the coffee shops on a railroad because right to the side of us, there's a bunch of establishments, restaurants, coffee shops, and they're all operating. And the shops are not the only thing operating. This railroad is also operating, but that doesn't stop a bunch of tourists and locals alike walking down and throughout this railroad. It's actually pretty trippy and insane because, like, it looks like you're on a kind of like a railroad. It's trippy to the senses because whenever you see a railroad in the movies or in the streets, like, you want to stay off of it. But then here, it's a popular destination where people are walking around, eating, drinking coffee. It feels pretty hazardous, I'm not gonna lie to you. But monkey see, monkey do, and seems like there's a bunch of people walking on the railroad, so it should be okay, right? Yeah. But not okay at all times of the day because a train actually rides through here. So yeah, let's check it out and see which spot we want to get some coffee in. The coffee shops here and establishments are also beautiful in itself, and at night it lights up pretty great. So pretty nice photo ops here too. A bunch of coffee shops right around us, so this is the real deal, guys. Yeah, there's even some people like sitting down here. This is crazy, especially knowing that a train actually rolls through. You won't run out of coffee shops anywhere in Vietnam, let alone this little railroad. There's so many people around here. It's kind of trippy because it makes it seem like you should be on the railroad because there's so many people here, but it's still a working railroad. So let's go find our coffee shop. Let's go. Nope. A lot of people taking photos as well. So yeah, there's gonna be rows and rows of coffee shops all around here, and they're all pretty aesthetically pleasing as well. Also watch your step because, like, it's not too even around here. So yeah, woo, this is pretty cool though. Let's take a look. Now it's the hard part, finding which coffee shop we want to sit in because all these look amazing. Check it out. We're going through here too. We even got the cast of Squid Games here. This doggo is so cute. He shouldn't be here when I'm sure the owners will take great care of him. All right, so sensory overload here. There's so many options and so many beautiful coffee shops, but we thought this one looks the best, so let's go inside and snag a seat and a view of the train that's about to pass in a few minutes. Nice and cozy here, like all, not all, but most Vietnamese establishments we've been to in Hanoi. So, woo, voila, this is the view. And wow, look at this. So we get to check out the view of the train from down below. So cute. When our server came, all her doggos came behind her. They're so cute. There's like 3 of them. Hello. Hey, buddy. Hello. You guys are so well behaved. Whoa, this one just did a somersault. They're so cute. So they already got everything down to a science here. So when you open the menu, it shows you guys the time that the train goes by, because just like any tourist attraction like the Eiffel Tower that lights up, or the Bellagio fountains in Vegas that, you know, does the dance. They come at certain times, so we got the whole timetable right there, which is very convenient. So you could plan your, you know, snack, coffee, drink during when the train rolls by, because it'd be a really cool sight to see, because I've never seen it before. But these are the prices and the menu. Of course, it's a tourist area, so there's gonna be a premium, but honestly, it's not too much. These almost look like local prices, guys. These are actually pretty local prices, maybe like an extra 10K above, like $2 or $3 each item. So this is actually a really cool spot. We definitely picked one of the best spots because the food looks good, menu looks good. We had a lot of great servers, those dogs down there. And then when she came up those stairs, all of her assistants, all those doggos, followed her all through up here to get to our side of the restaurant. It was super cute. So here are our views of the coffee shop railroad in Hanoi from our cafe here. As you guys can see, it stretches far and wide, and there's so many coffee shops, more coffee shops I would say than tourists almost. Look at this. Beautiful lanterns, lights, and we're gonna get to see the train from up above. So we got our mango guava and soursop smoothies here. I love smoothies everywhere in Vietnam because they're usually at a pretty good price, under $1. This one we have more touristy establishment, so it's like $2 and tastes just as good. Ooh, so I actually got a guava mango smoothie. Absolutely fire. I can inhale this, especially in the hot weather. So this is the famous Vietnamese sticky rice we got earlier. Ooh, our food is coming. Food is crossing the railroad tracks. Thank you. Wow. Sen mai means welcome or enjoy. So we got our French fried potatoes, chicken skewers. Ooh, I love this hot sauce, Vietnamese hot sauce. Eat with the fries. Looks like some seasonings on the fries. Shop, I think we struck gold, guys, because the food here and the drinks were good and for a reasonable price. So we got French fries and chicken skewers with the view of the railroad tracks there. Let's enjoy. This is a vibe in itself, guys. Sitting on this little treehouse looking coffee shop. Enjoying these snacks and people watching, because these views are stunning. And the food has been pretty great anywhere in Vietnam. Wow, look at that. It's like a deep fried chicken skewer. Almost tastes like a chicken nugget. So there is order in this madness. So when the train starts to arrive, we have some conductors clearing the roads, some guards, as you guys can see over there. They clear the roads, rings the bells, and then people gotta get out of there. Or not, your choice. Alright, so there aren't just general conductors. So in front of every store, there's the owners, like her, and we saw our owner here. They kind of take care of their individual stalls. So our restaurant keeper here was like telling people to get off the, get into the store basically, because the train is about to arrive. Keep it that way. So the shopkeepers doubles as security. I want to get out the way. All right, it's coming, guys. Guys, it's the railroad. Guys, look at that gap. It's no joke. You cannot be on the railroad at all. I can barely see any of the people that were there a few moments ago. Wow, it's long too. Wow. It's still going, guys. It's long. I thought it was just, this is a culture shock. I thought it was just a small train. This is a huge train. Woo! Yeah! All right. So as you guys can see, everyone is partying again. Seems like people are looking at these. They're doing something there. I don't know what they're doing. All right, guys. So that was pretty awesome. I can say that I crossed off the Hanoi coffee shop railroad train ride off of my bucket list. So that was actually pretty surprising. So everybody's walking around the train tracks as if nothing happened. But when I first heard of this, or when I arrived, I thought it was this like old school, slow little choo-choo train that was small, that drives through and people could kind of just dodge it as it comes, because there was already so many people on the train tracks when I arrived here. I mean, look at everybody on here too. But I feel like it was actually pretty hazardous. Like, it was a big, fast, modern train that rode through at breakneck speeds. No, I'm just kidding. Not breakneck speeds, but it was going through pretty fast. So you really needed to be off the railroad track. So that was pretty shocking. Hopefully no incidents happen, but just make sure if you guys are here, stay away from the tracks when it comes and just use your brain cells, basically. But yeah, that was really cool to experience. So on to more Hanoi Vietnam adventures. Let's go. So even outside the shop, there are train timetables here, so you guys can check it out when the trains are gonna come before you guys snag a seat. Vietnamese doggos are built different. There's a fat little corgi here wearing an orange vest so the train can see them. Some very beautiful decorations for also Lunar New Year's times. So this train track runs really far and long, guys, because we're all the way over there and there's still more coffee shops down here. This is absolutely crazy. We're walking on an active working railroad track, and not just that, there's a bunch of coffee shops next to it. So this is the coffee shop railroad track in Hanoi, Vietnam, guys. It's absolutely insane. So walking around in Hanoi is not for the faint of heart. Like, you really just gotta make your way, put your hand up and go. Neither is riding or driving, but yeah, that's Hanoi for you guys. You gotta do what you gotta do. Guys, we're currently in the old town, old quarter of Hanoi right now. There's so much going on, and we're here during the Tet Lunar New Year's, arguably the most important time of the year in Vietnam. So look at all this. So we're gonna explore the old town, old quarter, and check out everything there is to see in the old quarter, and all the decorations for Lunar New Year's and Tet. Let's go. So this is the street where you could buy a lot of the Lunar New Year's decorations. So this is not going to be here during all times. This is here during Lunar New Year's. There's a lot of Lisi bags you guys could buy. Guys, look at this small street. I thought this was just a walking street, but apparently it's not. So look at that. Alright, let's check out what they have here. Some lanterns. A lot of colors. It's like the rainbow here, but more on the red and yellow spectrum. These are the beautiful flowers here. So in the north, they use the Vietnamese pink cherry blossoms. In the south, they use more so the yellow ones. So you're gonna see more of the pink ones over here. Man, it's so congested. Alright, let's see what they got here. So a lot of Lisis, envelopes. Calendars. Looks like a lot of decorations. Lanterns, symbols. Oh, I thought that was popcorn. I got excited. Man, the competition here must be insane, because when there's one shop selling something, I see like dozens of others selling the same thing. Oh, so this one looks like a fan shop. Okay. All right, so you know how I told you guys that, you know, each section or area specializes in a certain category of business. Like, one will be for a certain type of noodles, one will be for silks. This one is the seasonal quarter, so they set up shops and businesses depending on the type of season it is. Like during Christmas will be Christmas decoration, but obviously right now the most important holiday in Vietnam, Tet. It is beautiful here. A bunch of shops set up for Lunar New Year's decoration. It's like the rainbow in here. But look at this, a lot of flowers, red envelopes, fans. So much decorations here. This street is one of my favorites. It's beautiful. Let's take a look. Guys, you won't run out of things to see here. When there's like a guinea pig or rat?
No.
Mouse?
Mouse, yeah.
There's like a mouse selling business. Whoa, this one has red eyes. These are cute. Whoa. So they're doing mouse shopping. So cute. Cute. This one likes me. Whoa. This one loves me. Look at this. Wow, they have red eyes. They're so cute. Một con này mấy đồng? Một con này mấy đồng? À.
Bên này thì là 50 đến 100, còn bên này 100 đến 150.
Con kia bự rồi.
One of them just bit me. One of them just bit me.
Con đó bự hơn.
This one is bigger. This one 150. This is crazy. Bánh mì bơ, so butter and honey breads. Looks good. Looks like a taco. You would not run out of food, businesses, things to see in Old Quarter. It's crazy. And this is a perk of being in Hanoi or anywhere in Vietnam during Lunar New Year's, because the city is lit up in colors. It's absolutely gorgeous and beautiful, guys. There's so many flowers, lanterns to see. But one thing for sure is that it's absolutely beautiful. Look at all these flowers. So during Tet, they set up a bunch of flowers here. These are the northern Vietnamese cherry blossoms. You're gonna see a lot of these. Apparently in the south they use the yellow flowers, but yeah, guys, so many flowers and lanterns here. All right, more. More shops. Ooh, it looks like we got some Chinese sausage here. Woo. These trees here, these are Lunar New Year celebration trees as well. Oh, there's a bunch of these trees here.
Ở đây nó kêu là Tây Quốc.
Oh, Ho Chi Minh the man?
Yeah.
Oh.
Con thấy là a lot of people đó they work.
Oh, so here.
Yeah. What?
So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you guys see, we just passed a very popular tourist destination. It is the tomb of Ho Chi Minh, and I guess he's buried here. I didn't know that, but a lot of tourists congregate there to get a look. And apparently you can see the body too if you guys go take a visit there. It's like the government business district of Hanoi, so
you can
it's gonna be a lot of security guards, diplomats.
Yeah, diplomat.
This is the government area, so you're gonna see a lot of guard, security, and also these buildings look like French-inspired buildings here. The architecture looks a little different.
Yeah, old French style.
Old French style. So I noticed a lot of the communist symbol up here. A lot different than Nha Trang, and of course we're in a government area, so that would be expected, but it's a little different change of scenery from down south. It's a little bit of a shock because I don't see many of those back home, those symbols, but they're going to be littered throughout the cities here, especially the more governmental area, maybe historical areas. Look, see all the flags. Ooh, that's beautiful. So if you guys see over there, there's the yellow flower saying Happy New Year. Chúc mừng năm mới. Looks like a nice little park. I wonder why there's not more people here. This park looks very nice. So we've officially entered a tourist district here near downtown. So as you guys can see, there's much more people taking photos, way more businesses. And if you guys can see, there's a lot of Lunar New Year shops with decorations because we are near Lunar New Year. So this is also a fun video in Hanoi because it's not all the time you got to be in an Asian city country that celebrates Lunar New Year. So this is how Hanoi does it, a couple days before Lunar New Year. So much more congestion, densely populated quarters. So this is the old town. So this is a popular tourist destination. It's called Pho in Vietnamese. Usually if you're a tourist, you won't miss this place. And I've actually been here before in 2017, but it's unrecognizable now. There's way more businesses, shops. This is the popular tourist destination. So this is the popular tourist destination in Hanoi, the old quarter, old town. So a little history lessons. If you look at the street signs, it will say like the street of fish, street of silk. These are translations. But I'm going down here and I'm like, where's the fish? Where's the silk? This and that. But it's called the old quarter. So that's what it used to be. But now there's other businesses around. So there'll be like coffee shops or fruit shops, ao dai shops. But usually it's still categorized. Like every street will have a certain set of businesses. That's still the same, but they're just not matching these street signs. Yeah, so this is an example of what I was talking about. So on that sign it says Hang Yai, which means the shoe street, but they no longer sell shoes there because it's the old quarter. So those are signs for the old quarter. Yeah, so there'll still be shops here, but they're not for shoes, they're for other things. You'll not run out of places to eat in Hanoi or anywhere in Vietnam. Every corner is dozens of food shops. So we're still exploring the old quarter on bike. Oh, Indian restaurant. As you guys can see, it's very densely populated with tourists and restaurants alike. Here we are touring the Hanoi Old Quarter, Old Town, one of the most popular tourist attractions in Hanoi. As you guys can see, it's very densely populated, especially during the Lunar New Year season, which we're here right now. But yeah, it looks absolutely gorgeous here. There's so much going on and so many businesses, guys. Look at that. So during Lunar New Year's, you're gonna see a bunch of shops with these beautiful flowers. Here in the north, they use cherry blossoms. In the south, they use yellow flowers, orchids. But yeah, a lot of shops with Lunar New Year's celebratory decorations and trinkets, souvenirs. It's truly beautiful. So many saturated colors. Look at the traffic here. It's all because there's a car here. I didn't even think this street could fit a car, let alone an SUV. It's crazy. Guys, be careful when you're in Hanoi because I thought this was a walking street. How small it is, but man, look at how many bikes are going through here. Vietnam for you guys. Always assume nothing is a sidewalk because there'll be scooters everywhere. Alright, DVW fam, so we're currently touring a very popular tourist destination in Hanoi, a can't miss. We're in the old quarter, old town, which stretches far and wide. There's so many quarters here. I've already been riding around the scooter, walking around. This is a can't miss. It's very densely populated with businesses, souvenir shops, restaurants, coffee shops, dessert shops, all kinds of things. Here you'll find a lot of silk stores. And I've actually been here in 2017, but it's unrecognizable now. There's just so many things added to the spot. But just a cool thing I can't miss in Hanoi, thing to do, just walking around these corridors and appreciating the view, taking in the fresh air and just checking out all the local stalls, businesses, people watch here because there's so much going on. And it's also Lunar New Year season, so this is a really cool time to be here because you'll see a lot of Lunar New Year's decoration shops, souvenir stores. The whole city is lit up and decorated when it's about to be that time. Probably the most important holiday in all of Vietnam, and it's in a few days. But yeah, this is Old Quarter Hanoi. You can't miss this here. And there's also a lot of great food here as well. We passed a few, Bun Cha spots, pho spots, coffee shops. But yeah, take a look around. It's pretty awesome.
Hồi Pháp nó xưa cả trăm năm rồi cái này nè.
It's like an old French water tower.
Rồi bây giờ nó làm lại.
I've actually been to France before, and even the floors, the cobblestones look like not cobblestones, but whatever that flooring is, looks like French architecture. It's crazy. It's such a contrast. See all these buildings and then like something out of Paris. Looks like a cool park. So we're near the city center,
Đó, kia kia rồi.
near the main lake. Let's see.
Đó cho mình nè.
Oh, look at the architecture. This is just a coffee shop, I think.
Yeah.
Coffee shop. Wow, look at wow. Look at all those flowers. Wow. A lot of people here taking photos next to the lake, and I don't blame them. It's beautiful. Kind of feels like I'm in Europe right now with all these buildings surrounding us. It's like French colonial buildings here.
Đó,
Ooh. 2025, Happy New Year.
Đó, còn kiếm rồi. Đó đó. Cái hồ á.
Wow, look at this lake, it's huge. This is the most popular tourist destination in Hanoi. This big central lake. It is ginormous. Big, ginormous, Vietnamese castle looking coffee shop, dessert shop. So we're gonna go sit in here to check out the views and grab a drink and enjoy the views. But look at this. Wow. It looks like a Vietnamese castle in here. Oh, and there's the turtle here because this is like, you guys know there's like supposed to be a turtle in that lake. But yeah, check it out here. So beautiful views. Definitely a tourist type restaurant. So we found this nice little cafe that looks like a Vietnamese ancient castle here right on the lake. Beautiful views. Like a coffee, lunch, brunch, dessert, smoothies, coffee shop. And guys, I've never seen as many coffee shops that I have in my life. Just walking around here, I see nearly 100 coffee shops. So if you guys like coffee, you guys will be in heaven here in Vietnam. But we came here for the views because this is pretty much a tourist spot, so the prices are a little bit premium, but even then it's not that bad. Let's get us some drinks and enjoy this view. Well, like the patio kind of looks like a mix of French and ancient Vietnamese architecture, but these views are what we're here for. Absolutely gorgeous. This is the huge central lake in Hanoi. It's called Hoan Kiem Lake. I actually tried to look for English translation, but maybe that's my ignorance because there is none, but it directly translates to Return of the Sword Lake, and there's a story behind that, so just stay tuned. But it's beautiful. There's a lot of trees here. Looks like a pink cherry blossom. Okay, so we got a mango smoothie here, some fries. They're tourist prices, so a little bit more of a premium, but still not too bad. These are priced here to get with these views. So similar to any other place in the world, when you have views like this and you're going to a cafe, you're gonna pay a premium for, you know, the food and the drinks and all that. But so this is Vietnamese culture, guys. Coffee, usually dessert, little snacks like the fries, and some vibes of the views. And I think we got some of the best views at this location. And I'll say it's totally worth it. The fries were but this smoothie is, it's a mango smoothie. The mangoes in Vietnam are amazing, so this will do. Salud. So gonna enjoy our vibes on this lake and on to more Hanoi adventures. Let's go. That's considered somewhat very pricey in Vietnam, but that's like 2 or 3 total bills of a lunch, or maybe 3 or 4, but this is what you get with it, and I am not complaining one bit. It's totally worth it. This is it, guys. Lunch, snacks with a view of the Hoan Kiem Lake here in Hanoi. Vibes. All right, so as you guys can see behind me, one of the top attractions in Hanoi, if not the top, Hoan Kiem Lake. That's the Vietnamese name of this lake. It directly translates to returning of the sword lake. And it is absolutely gorgeous, guys. It is the top, if not the top, destination, and I can see why. Look how peaceful and calm it is, and there's a lot of tourists and locals alike just walking around, taking photos. There's great photo ops right around the circumference of the lake, and we're right in the thick of things here. This is the city center, or one of the city centers, where, I mean, I feel like everything is a city center in Hanoi, Vietnam, because there's just so many cars, so many scooters everywhere. But this is a central area right next to the lake where there's a bunch of coffee shops, bars. So you guys see there's a Highlands Coffee. All of those are great viewing spots and ops for this lake, because anywhere you look around here, it's absolutely gorgeous, beautiful. This lake is very green. There's a lot of green hues here. So this is the entrance to the temple on the lake. Very beautiful archways. Let's check it out. Wow. This is where you buy the tickets. Cost about $2 per entry. Not bad for a tourist attraction. So this is 50,000 dong, and grab your tickets here. Alright, this is the entrance of the temple on the lake. A lot of amazing, beautiful, ancient Vietnamese architecture and art. It's really cool. Ooh, so this is the fossil of the turtle. So you have to pay for entry. Let's check it out here. I've been here in a minute. You have to pay for entry. It's about 50,000. About 50,000 dong per person. Wow, this is the lake. Absolutely gorgeous. So we're currently on the temple in the lake. You could actually see it from all the way over there. You have to pay 50,000 dong to get in though, but this is totally worth it and then some. Let's look at this. Beautiful views here. You see the city of Hanoi, and then over here you're right on the lake. Gorgeous. All right, so we are currently on the Hoan Kiem Lake in Hanoi. Look at this. It is beautiful. We're actually on the turtle temple right now, and we're right about to check out the turtle, so let's go see them. All right, so we're closing in on the turtle's home here. Its resting place. You see a lot of turtle artwork everywhere, and you see the sword. Look, there's a sword on its back. So that is the legend. A lot of photo ops as always. And that, oh yeah, it's fire. It's fire. So this is the, looks like a ancient Vietnamese castle. And black, oh yeah, that's fire. Wow, it looks like flowers. Some sort of wall mural made by flowers. That's absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Flowers on here. It looks like a little garden. So this is the main temple. We're still on the lake. Wow. Look at that. It's actually still a working temple. Gotta be respectful. And this is, there's a tree, the wishing tree. You guys can see here. This is a Lunar New Year tree here. Wow. This is beautiful. Whoa, look at this giant grapefruit tree. So these are real grapefruit. They're like bigger than the size of my hand. Also a sign of good luck. Alright, so we're about to enter the turtle's house now. Let's check him out. Oh my gosh. So that is a turtle. He is huge. The other turtle, he looks like a dragon. Doesn't look like a turtle. Look at his face. This is a giant turtle. No way this could be real. Gonna be real, huh?
Yeah.
No. Apparently it's a real turtle fossil. And that is the nail that they used to build that sword. Alright, so just so you guys don't think my story was made up, I got it from here. It is a folklore, but either way, these turtles did exist. And they are here. Apparently these are specimens, so they've been preserved inside these glass. So one of them, they actually specified it, passed away in 2016, so more recently. And one of them was a bit older, but these are a real type of turtle, and they almost look prehistoric. It's ginormous. Look at his face. Looks like a giant dinosaur with a shell. So that is the real turtle when it was alive. It looks just like the fossil, so it is pretty
1914.
ginormous. This is taken in 2014. So this is real, guys. This is a special turtle that lived on this lake, and apparently they say there's only 6 left in the world, but guys, this guy is absolutely enormous. So I can see why they borrowed the special power from this turtle, because
Look.
this turtle looks like it could take on a few countrymen by itself. This is a part of the feet that they use as a crossbow arrow. It's crazy. I've never seen a turtle that looks like this. It looks like a dinosaur, prehistoric creature cosplaying as a turtle. Because I know Franklin the turtle. This Vietnamese turtles are built different. That's all I gotta say. Built different. So absolutely breathtaking views of Hanoi, Vietnam. This is an attraction you guys can't miss. Paying 50,000 Vietnamese dong, which is like $2 to enter the Ngoc Son Temple, which is right on the lake here. And you got views of the temple. You guys can see the ancient turtles. You also get views from the city over here. Those ripples are made from fish, so there's still fish in this lake. It's a beautiful lake. Hanoi, Vietnam, guys, the Hoan Kiem Lake, the top attraction in Vietnam. Look at this beauty. And this is one of the best photo ops. You're right on the lake, literally. You're basically walking on water. All right. And we're out of here. This is how it looks like from the city view. It's pretty nice. All right, so we're checking out another popular tourist destination in Hanoi, Vietnam. Kind of looks like the Notre Dame behind us, but it is the Grand Cathedral here. And the direct translation in Vietnamese is Nhà Thờ Lớn, which means the big church. And I'm not surprised with the unoriginal translation, because all the restaurants and all that are just literally name the type of food and like a number, like pho, someone's name like Tan and like 67 or something like that. So it's just called the Grand Cathedral, and it is huge. It looks like Gothic French architecture. Makes sense because there was some French colonial influence here, and yeah, it's crazy seeing this type of architecture around this area of Hanoi, because there's these, you know, little Vietnamese bars and cafes, coffee shops, tourist destinations, restaurants, and then right in the middle you see this huge cathedral. It's like a mix of cultures. There's the Hanoi northern style cherry blossoms right in front, and it is going to grow and bloom in front of this large Gothic cathedral. So this is another major attraction to visit in Hanoi, Vietnam, which is this big cathedral here. It's called the Grand Cathedral. Looks like Gothic architecture. There is a French quarter here, and there is some French colonial influence in architecture throughout the city. So I'm not surprised that there's a big Gothic cathedral here, but it's actually still open and operating. There's regular mass during Sundays, I'm assuming. But yeah, guys, a lot of unique and diverse architecture in Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. For my first impressions of Hanoi, I get a kind of a vibe of like 3 different type of, you know, countries or continents here. I get a little bit of like Amsterdam vibes from, you know, the canals, some French influences from the French Quarter and some of these architectures. Vietnam, of course, because there are some still traditional classical Vietnamese buildings. And then when you see like the cityscapes, it kind of looks like Tokyo or Hong Kong, like a modern Asian city with all the lights and skyscrapers. So Hanoi has modernized a lot rapidly since I've been here in 2017. Honestly, I don't recognize it. I feel like I'm in a whole different city. It's crazy out here in Hanoi. It's amazing, beautiful. Hanoi is definitely a wonder. So this cathedral was built since 1887, so over 100 years ago. Absolutely crazy. Like the contrast is insane. You see, like, you turn around and you're just in Hanoi, Vietnam, and then now it looks like you're in Notre Dame or something like that. So we're about to cross a famous bridge. It's been built over 100 years old by the French, I believe. It's a French bridge. It's a French bridge here. It's called the Iron Bridge. It's called Đường Hien. Đường Hien. The bridge. Wow, look at these views.
Cái này là con sông á. Nè, cái này ở trước là sông mà bây giờ nó nước nó cạn rồi thành ra nó không thể.
So this is a river, but the tides are Red River?
Yeah.
called the Red River, but the tides are low, so you can see some of the greenery. But yeah, we're on the Thương Yung 100-year-old bridge. It's a famous bridge here in Hanoi, but the bridge I wouldn't even say is the main selling point of this. I would say it's the views, because riding through this bridge you see a lot of views of nature, landscapes, and cityscapes. So the one across is the one that's 100-year-old. Mistake, but either way, this is a really cool bridge crossing over Hanoi, because we get to see really great views of this river. Look how big it is. This is a giant river. It's called the Red River. It's as big as an ocean.
Đấy nè, bắt đầu vô cái làng nè, Bat Trang nè.
Alright, DVW fam, so we're in a very special part of Vietnam right now, about 20-30 minute drive away from Hanoi. So definitely a thing I recommend you guys do in Vietnam if you guys are in or near Hanoi, which is this village called Bat Trang, which is a special artisanal ceramics clay art making village here. As you guys can see, we're in the main area. There's a lot of decorations, flags up top, and all around me you'll see dozens if not hundreds of shops that sell ceramic, clay, pottery, and art, houseware, dishes, plates, all types of things. And yeah, so we're gonna explore this village. There's a lot of history, traditions, and things to learn about the artisanal ceramics making process in this village. So yeah, let's explore. Just like similar places in Vietnam, when you get to an area that's known for something, there's dozens if not hundreds of other shops selling the same thing. So this whole area is for pottery, Vietnamese artisanal. Look at this.
Quá là nhiều không? Đeo mấy cái bịch rồi.
Different types of pottery, shapes and sizes. This one looks like they're building it in the shapes of animals, dogs. Oh, this temple is made from the pottery ceramics material that they made from all the other pottery in this village as well. Wow, so throughout this village you guys are going to see some, you know, random art on the ground, and you can assume that's made from the earth on this village and by this pottery village. So I'm learning in the north there's a lot of Buddhists. These are the Buddhist flags, and this is the architecture. And you can also assume that these works are also from the pottery village as well. So if you guys see cool art around this village, you guys can assume that it's from the materials made from this earth and river right behind me and by this pottery village near Hanoi, Vietnam. Oh, and look, you can see all of the, wow, you can see a lot of the pottery that didn't make the cut and defective stuff, and they kind of, it's basically the pottery that didn't make the cut, and it looks like they're thrown out right over here. So if you guys can see, they're still in certain forms of vases and pots. This is the main Red River that they get the earth and natural minerals and resources from to create all these ceramics and arts. It's the goddess temple, Bat Trang Mother, and these temples are also made by the earth of this river and the ceramics as well. So look, and it is an operating temple, not just for show. So this looks like the center area, a market, and they do sell a lot of things.
Clay,
Yeah,
raw material.
raw materials. So this is a central market. Whenever there's a center market where there's a lot of tourists, there's also going to be a lot of food. You guys can see food and drinks. That's the thing I love about Vietnam. You're not going to run out of food and drinks if you guys are going to like sightseeing, a landscape, tourist area. They usually almost will be food set up for you guys to enjoy. So we're entering another cool area of this Bat Trang ceramics village here. So here they also have some pottery classes as well. Oh my gosh, I just saw that dog over there. He's back. That dog was all the way over to the river and he's back here. Maybe he's like the clay pot security dog. But yeah, they offer clay pot making classes. As you guys see these kids making it here, so cute. And some of them look more professional than others. Wow. Guess this is the process of making some of these Vietnamese ceramics.
Ê, nhưng mà
She's making it into a shape of a heart.
yes, I make the heart.
In the heart?
Yes.
Nice. Nice. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Are you an expert?
No.
Or are you a tourist? Oh.
Yeah. I just started like 30 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. So, they do offer
This
classes
is not
for
what
tourists.
to do. Like
No.
way to do this one.
Oh, no?
I'm almost finished.
So they do have classes for tourists, and yeah, so I guess this is like a clay pot making class here. Cool thing we discovered is a 400-year-old well here they used to get water from, and now you could throw coins down here for good fortune, good luck, and more ceramics in different forms. Clay pots, ceramics, and look at all these guys. Whoever made these must be very talented. So many details. They look like anime figurines.
Nó chưa có nướng lên.
Oh.
Ồ.
Oh.
Cái này nó nướng rồi, bây giờ nó sẽ sơn lên. Nó chưa làm. Để nó sơn ra thành mấy con này.
Yeah. So this is how they look like before painting on them. And then this is after, when they're all completed. These look like contemporary art pieces. Wow. Look at this huge pot. Wow.
Ở đây là cái lò hồi xưa nó nướng nè. Nó bỏ củi vô đốt.
Ooh. So my guide here is saying that this is a very old furnace, wood furnace. They had different technology back then. And this is wood that they used to burn to feed the furnace. Whoa, this is huge. This is one furnace?
Yeah.
Wow. So we're on the back of the furnace. There's signs here as well. Whoa. Look at all these, this wood. That's what it's called? Lo bao?
Yeah, lò bầu.
Lo bao. Lo bao.
Lò bầu là cái này nè.
Which is a furnace.
Yeah.
So this is the proof and the signs that this village is over 1,000 years old and is passed down through 23 families and generations, the art form. Yeah. So they're still churning out and creating so much arts and ceramics, and they export it all throughout the world.
Go inside.
So you could go through this furnace.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Đây vô đây.
Oh, we're in the furnace.
Yeah. Cái ta bỏ.
I can't fit.
Ta bỏ mấy cái pot này nè. Ta bỏ vậy nè.
Uh-huh.
Cái ta đốt lửa lên, nó nóng trong này, cái nó này nó chín.
So the process is they put the raw pots in here, the clay, in the forms that you want to make it in, and then they turn on the furnace. Hopefully it's not working right now because we're inside, because we probably get burned too, but hopefully it's off. And then it will harden up these clay pots, and this is part of the process, and there's more to it.
Lâu năm cái này nó chín luôn, nó láng luôn rồi thấy không? Không phải cái nào nó cũng ấy, khi mà nóng rồi nọ, có nhiều cái nó defective á, nó nổ bùm ra thì nó văng cái mấy cái debris nó hit cái này nè, nó dính rồi thấy không? Rồi nó chín lên luôn.
These are just for display, but this is how they used to make the ceramics, the process. They would put the raw clay here, and then the furnace will turn on and harden it. But then some of these aren't perfected. Some of them will be defective and blow up. And then the debris will touch this wall here. And when something's so hot, it could turn into like a glass-like consistency. So that's why it's very smooth. It almost feels fake. But this is a real 1,000-year-old furnace here in Bat Trang. So this is a huge 1,000-year-old furnace. And you can see some of the wood here all over the clay pots before they burn it up and finalize the art making process. And we just went in there. Wow. Ooh, so many different shapes and sizes to these pots and art. I thought this was like a canvas painting or something, but it's a painting made from clay. So you, like, it pops out of the canvas. Wow. That's super cool. So this is like one of the production factories. He's actually making real pieces to sell. Yeah, so this is a production factory in the ceramics village. So these are actually like training classes, or I guess like the college of ceramics making, and there's a lot of like spinning involved. So yeah, this is really cool. This you can see a little factory here in the Bat Trang village, and this is where they sit down and kind of churn and create the clay art into whatever shape they want to make it into. Oh, they're moving. No male. So these like little pets, looks like dogs, cats. And this is another part of the process where they're looks like they're finalizing or painting the clay pots. They have some like beer jugs, all kinds of shapes and sizes, ceramic pieces and art. It looks like she's adding the final details. Whoa! Wow, this one looks absolutely insane. I don't even know how he made that. It looks like a huge cobra snake. Ceramic art pieces are made by hand. How they are made, were made thousands of years ago. There's a dog in there that's stuck in there. Cat. So I'm assuming this product is very sturdy, because you could use them as everyday household items. Very hard and sturdy clay here. That's why this village is famous for producing all of these clay art pieces. Here it looks like he's forming the clay and making them into very detailed art. Look at that. Look at the scales on that snake. So this is a modern current furnace. So it's electronically powered, and there's a fire in there, and then they put the raw clay molded into here, and then I guess that's the final process. So, and this is a little illustration painting on how it used to look back in the day. These guys throwing in the wood into the furnace, letting it burn. Look at that. The art is insane here, and I've seen a lot of this dog right here. The details to these art pieces are crazy. Here, as you guys see, there are some tourists like ourselves in these classes creating their own pieces of art. This is really cool. So it looks like the starting process here. Raw mud and art. This looks like the mud, the clay from the earth here. It looks a little wet and muddy. Apparently, like the ceramic arts Gucci store or luxury store, so you got to take your shoes off before going inside. So there's dozens of ceramic shops, but the ones in here look absolutely insane. I'm sure the prices are a lot higher, more gilded, and they just look more luxurious. Beautiful details, more detailed. Yeah, way more details to these guys. Absolutely beautiful and insane. There's everything from pots to vases, gold oxes. These are my favorite here. Look, they're like blue and gilded in gold. Wow, these are awesome. A huge museum there, and right across is this awesome garden, which is the river, the Red River, in which a lot of the earth and clay is mined from. So, wow. Look at this. The landscapes in Vietnam are insane. This is a beautiful garden here, and wow, look at this giant grapefruit here. Look at all these grapefruits. So we're gonna get a closer look. And look at the shape of that. A lot of things here were made by clay, and I'm willing to bet the exterior of this museum is also made from the clay mine from that Red River as well. This is the entrance fee of the museum, 60,000 per ticket. Wow, so this is the inside of the museum. Look at the ridges on this piece of architecture here. Wow, it's like a little waterfall wall when you enter. There's real koi fish in here. No, it has a beard. There's real koi fish in this pond right when you enter. Pottery making room in the museum. The raw materials. Very soft. Ooh, wow. It's soft like Play-Doh. Like putty. Your very own ceramic work here from clay. So, a lot of families, couples here making their own clay pots. Right over here, you'll see the inside of a factory and boxes because they do export these products all over the world. It's a hot commodity. A lot of people, want these pieces of art in their house, businesses, or anywhere else in the world. So they're not just only selling these art in this village for us tourists and locals. They export them everywhere throughout the world. Clay shape, you can paint on them. The painting station. These look like some of the ones that tourists made. So my dad was saying that some of these are really ugly looking. I actually don't think they're bad, but they're definitely not on the same level as all the professional ones. Versus like this guy's like a super master expert or something. I can see why, because his looks super detailed. His looks really nice. But here we're actually in a room in this museum where it is the ancient artisanal works, because this village is over 1,000 years old and this art form is over 1,000 years old. And here you can see some of the works that were either hundreds, decades, thousands year old, and there's a history to them, a story to each of them. And as you guys can see, they look old and dated, but the art is just as similar to the ones that we've seen here. The process, if not better, they look more antique, ancient. Honestly, I think they look a little bit more pristine. Maybe things age over time like wine. Some of these pieces look really awesome. Dong here. All right, so you know how I told you that they mine the earth and clay from the Red River? So they still do that, but this was an ancient boat.
It's a real boat.
It's a real boat that they used to use on this Red River to mine the raw minerals and products to make all this ceramic arts. The village looked back in the day. Ooh, some more earthware. It's a scene of some trading of some of these artisanal works. So these were still a hot commodity back then. Looks like the old wood that they used to use for the furnace.
Đây là one of the furnace.
Different models of the furnaces that they used to have, because this village was large, so it wasn't just one furnace they used in the village. There's multiple furnaces. Caricatures, and it's basically showing the start to finish process of them making it. So he's mining the clay, they mold the clay, wedging it, shaping it some more, then adding details, extra additions, drawing on it, and then finishing up the process. There are all the types of earth, so it's not one type. These all come from the Red River though. This looks like a mean looking dog. Wow, so there's some big sandals here for us. Look like some big shoes to fill. I wonder what size feet these are. You know what they say about big sandals? Big feet. Food everywhere, so there is street food, corn skewers, sugarcane juice. Everywhere whenever there's a central tourist area, so that's why I love Vietnam, because you'll never go hungry here, especially with the value of the food. It's great street food for reasonable prices. Most things are under $1 when they're on the street, but yeah. So we reached the central market here where you could find a lot of trinkets, souvenirs. So this is China. So this is all made from the clay, from the earth.
So beautiful, wow.
So beautiful. There are so many things to see here. Art. Yes, this is the Bat Trang Central Market. There's so many shapes, sizes. This looks like a little piggy bank, and these look like little teacups. Maybe you can even use them as shot cups. So many pieces of art here. Kitchenware, glassware, dishware. Trying hard not to bump into any of these because they all look very fragile and delicate. Oh, this is cute here. Bunch of old couples. What's up, guys? chopsticks, and you can assume that the items here are all made from the clay ceramics that this village Bat Trang is famous for. But yeah, sensory overload. There's so many items to see and potentially buy. Cool looking sculptures here, roosters, animals, and yeah, they're supposed to be pretty sturdy as well. But they're supposed to be pretty sturdy because they're made from the clay from the earth. Oh, she's gonna show. Oh, she's showing us that it doesn't break. It is great quality. So they do have to prove it to you that it's made from the real clay. So if you guys need proof, they're made from the clay from that river. So we bought some kitchenware, dishware. We bought some cups that doubles as Vietnamese souvenirs. So we had one that said Vietnam on them. It's this one over here, but we wrapped it up already. You know, see, so it works. This is what they do to show you guys that is the true ceramics of this village. It doesn't break, so that's why they make into glass kitchenware, because they're very sturdy. 100K kitty. That's one for 100K. Yeah, come on. Come on. Alright, success. We got our goodies. We got a few cups and some spoons. Yeah, came home with some souvenirs. So on to our next spot in Hanoi, Vietnam. Let's go. Alright, so we're off to more adventures. So let's leave the Bat Trang village and go back to Hanoi. Let's go. This is the temple here that was built since 1720. So it's more proof that this village and the ceramic process has been active for over 1,000 years, because a lot of the artifacts and architecture in this whole village is pretty ancient. Alright, a little history about this Bat Trang artisanal ceramics making village. So it's right across from this big river right here, which is called the Red River, or Sam Hom in Vietnamese, which still to this day they mine fresh natural resources and ingredients from the bottom of that river, where they use and they bring over to this village here, which is right across from it. They're right next to each other, so they could use the raw natural ingredients to make all the beautiful art that you guys have been seeing in this video. So they've been doing this for thousands of years, and this river here is what is responsible for, you know, the prosperous businesses of ceramics in this village right here. It's not anywhere in this river, because this river is long, wide, and huge. It stretches from really far. It's just an area in this river that's really good for the land and the earth, where they mine and bring the resources all the way to this village right here. So yeah, basically this river has been feeding this village for hundreds of years. And yeah, it's crazy that this natural resource here, the river, and this village has been intertwined for the past 1,000 years, and it's still going, because to continue to make ceramics that they export all around the world in this village of Bat Trang. So yeah. All right, so this is a popular bar district here. So you guys see all these spots with the Vietnamese flag. Oh, look at the dog with the diaper. Our bars. So later on, they're gonna turn up with lights and music, but we're just taking a stroll through the daytime.
Gái ơi, chụp hình quá mọi người. Ba thấy không? Thấy không ba? Ô, bây giờ hết đi được rồi. Bây giờ vô anh này.
These are bars and discos.
Bắt đầu đây. Giờ hết đi được rồi.
So these are turning up with bars. So there's a bunch of bars here with music, and we're going through here with a little bike. But yeah, so pretty soon you're not going to be able to ride through here, but this area transforms in the nighttime into a bunch of bar districts. A bunch of sports bars everywhere. Bar. So here we have Ta Hien, which is a very popular bar, lounge, club, going out district for tourists and locals alike. We're right in the center of the cross alleys here, as you guys can see. So this alley behind us, and this alley behind us is Ta Hien. In the nighttime, at a certain time, all of these restaurants transform into bars. So this is one area of it. I was here in the daytime, and these were regular establishments like souvenir shops, bars, coffee shops, restaurants. But as you guys can see right now, they're setting up. So they're putting a lot of smaller tables, chairs. A bunch of tourists congregate to this area to, you know, go out, grab a bite to eat. So it's actually pretty crazy because I literally was. I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. So I'm actually already here. So yeah, in any popular tourist destination, you'll have a lot of, you know, restaurant tours kind of urging you into their bars. But yeah, so this, as you guys can see, that's what's happening right now. And we're gonna walk through this alleyway for you guys. So you could tell it's Ta Hien when you see all these Vietnamese flags out front. So it's really crazy. I'll show you guys the before and after, because we were here in the daytime and these were all like different types of establishments, but right now they're basically all bars. So yeah, we're gonna walk from one end to one end of Ta Hien and show you guys the vibes before it gets too crazy, because when it gets too crazy, like it's starting to now, there's gonna be music and I don't want to get copyrighted because there's a lot of lounges and bars and whatnot. So yeah, let's check it out for you guys. So looks like some lounges, restaurants. Looks like there's like a concert about to pop off right now. So I feel like we have like unnecessarily more servers that we need here. We have like 3, 4 people mobbing us as to what to drink. They're kind of like peer pressuring us to show what beer we should get, and
Three people want to sell different beers.
I don't know what that was all about. So like 3 people want to sell us like different types of beers. Oh, I guess it's because they're sponsored by a certain type of beer. So I guess she's sponsored by Tiger. Alright, so that was pretty interesting. We sat down and like 3 waitresses mobbed us and was like, which beer you want? Which beer you want? They're doing the same thing to these customers right here. You gotta get the Tiger, you gotta get Saigon, you gotta get Heineken. And it makes sense because I'm looking at their outfit and like each one of them are sponsored by a different beer company. Like I guess she's like a Tiger over there. They're trying to get us to get their beer, but little do they know that my Hanoi tour guide and my dad only drinks Heineken, so he's gonna go with this regardless. Salud. So these alleys are actually not even too small for Vietnam standards, but with all these chairs and tables outside, it gets really packed and compact. What's up, my man? How you doing? How you doing? I'm good. Yeah, what's your name?
Ken.
Ken. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Okay, hi.
Yeah. We might return later.
All right, no
Yeah, I'm meeting outside. Thank you.
What do you want? I'll send you something.
I'm eating now, but I'll come back later.
Where from?
I'm eating.
Where from?
United States.
Oh!
What's up?
I know you went it.
Appreciate you.
Yes. I like my city.
Me?
My city.
What's your city?
Manchester.
Oh, Manchester.
City.
No. Los Angeles.
No. Manchester City, okay.
Alright, man. So he's representing Manchester City. So, alrighty, so we are showing you guys more of the Ta Hien district here. So you guys see that man smoking there? That is a Hanoi Northern pipe. So if you guys see him popping that, don't get hello. No, thanks. So we're gonna show you guys the rest. So as you guys are walking down here, a lot of people will urge you to go inside their shops, and yeah, you guys just gotta choose an option. But most of these spots don't look too bad. Vietnamese food is pretty good in general, so you won't go wrong with that. I would just choose a Vietnamese spot because you are in Vietnam. Some of these spots will serve, you know, different types of food outside. What's up? Nice to meet you. All right. Buy one get one free?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come back. I'm eating over there already.
Yes.
But maybe I'll come back. Yes. All right. So, yeah, we just gave you guys a tour from one end to one end. As you guys can see, we were walking through, and you know, they were kind of urging us to go inside. There are bars at every little stop, but yeah, you just gotta choose the one you want and go inside, basically. All right, DVW fam, so we're front and center in the going out bar area of the old quarter in Hanoi. So they actually turn up, literally like a bunch of bars turn up in these streets, and there's music, bars, lounges. Basically businesses flip upside down and they put tables on the streets, and there's just a bunch of businesses, vendors, and tourists here to flock in the streets for delicious drinks and food. And there's gonna be music, so I'm gonna talk over this so I don't get copyrighted. But yeah, so as you guys see, a lot of local establishments. There's a huge line here of young folks. I wonder where they're going. It's okay. I guess this is like a bar or a club. Is this a club or something?
Where's Colin?
It's a club. It's a bar. So it looks like there's a concert here. So out of all of them, we chose this bar here because it is front and center, literally in the center of the square, the cross streets, and we're in the thick of things, so we gotta kind of people watch, have some fresh air because it gets pretty tight in those alleyways. Okay, so they're advertising the beer. So they're both lagers. Yeah, I do Tiger. Yeah. You see with those things, Loy Bale 18. It's right in the center, so it's hard to miss. That's why we thought to eat here. We came here for the vibes, atmosphere, and bar food. So in Vietnamese, this is called đồ ăn nhậu. Phải không ba? Đồ ăn nhậu, which is basically like food to drink beer and have fun with your friends with. So we got a bottle of luck with some French fries. So yeah, we're just having a few bites and brews in the middle of Ta Hien district and just enjoying the vibe. So salute. Over a dozen beers in Vietnam. Vietnam is all about their beers. Most of the people come here to kind of people watch, grab a brewski and drink, which is what we did. The food is kind of a plus, but yeah, I mean, these are the vibes, these small stools here. My first Tiger beer in Vietnam so far. Also, whenever you're in Vietnam, like, I believe Vietnam makes certain types of beers here. Even international beer like Heineken, they have like Vietnamese Heineken. There's like a Heineken Silver here, which is like lighter, and a regular Heineken, which this is a regular Heineken. So make sure you guys specify which beer you order. Since this is like the heavier Tiger, there's like a lighter Silver Tiger that's like 4%. This one's a 5% one, but yeah. So we're enjoying the vibes right now. It kind of reminds me of like Europe, kind of sitting outside of a cafe, people watching, listening to music and all that, except it's much more hectic with all the music and people in the crowds. But yeah, this is Ta Hien district. I'm pretty sure there's more excitement in there, so we're gonna go inside after we eat and show you guys the rest of Ta Hien district. Salud. Cheers.
Hi there.
Hello.
Some beer?
Oh, we see our friend again. Our friend again. Again and again. All right, DVW fam, as you guys can see, there's a lot of hustle and bustle right now. We are still in the old quarter of Hanoi, but not in any old regular area. This is the Ta Hien Street, which is the Vietnamese beer bar district. And in the nighttime, it totally transforms into something else entirely, because I was here in the daytime and this whole street was, regular businesses, shops, restaurants. But as you guys can see, it is totally different now. So basically in the nighttime, like, all these shops transform. If it was like a kebab shop before, it is now a bar, guys. So we're gonna take you guys from one end to one end and show you guys the whole Ta Hien Street in Hanoi, Vietnam. It is the most popular bar, beer, going out district in Vietnam. So let's see. So yeah, there's a lot of loud music, vendors, a lot of things going on. So when you guys are walking around here, you guys cannot be claustrophobic because these streets are pretty tight, and this isn't even the smallest alleyway. There's actually even smaller alleyways. What's up, man? How you doing, bro? So yeah, there's going to be people like this. Nice to meet you. there's gonna be people outside of these bars urging you guys to go inside, grab a drink, grab a bite, and we're just gonna, you know, show you guys every single bar. And you want to be oh, there's still places that are actually still like the restaurants, because I passed by this before. There's still a restaurant, but these are bars. This one, no thank you. So as you guys see, there's a lot of bars, lounges, a lot of loud music, a lot going on. So this is a pretty tight street, and there are so many bars lined throughout this street. And we're gonna show you guys the other area as well. So much going on. And right now it's still like a mile time. Hello.
Well,
Tom's Bar? Tom's Bar.
everyone gets free shots.
Whoa, wow. Free shots? No way. I don't believe that. Free shots? That's crazy. She's saying everybody gets free shots. That's a tough promise to fulfill, guys. I don't know. Maybe in Vietnam it's different. So yeah, this seems like to be the end of it. So we're gonna go back around and show you guys the rest of it. So this is the other, you again. So yeah, so we're going back down this row. We're seeing all of our friends again. How you doing? Yeah. So there's so many bars here. There's different types of establishments. So many options to choose. Hello, Ben. So yeah, there's so many options here, guys. Food, bars, but in Vietnam, food and bars doubles as one. Absolutely popping here. So much going on here in Ta Hien Street in Hanoi. One of the most popular bar districts, beer districts, going out districts in the VN. But we already have our spot to eat. We're here. When we're in areas like this, it is basically, you know, when people are urging you in, they're gonna, you know, charge tourist prices, surge prices like Ubers or anything like that when, you know, more people are going out and there's a higher demand. But even then, it's like your total bill at a place will be 15 to 30 bucks max. That's like the high end, because an average meal in Vietnam is for 2 people would be like 7 to 10 bucks. So it's absolutely insane the value you get here in Vietnam. I mean, from a Californian perspective. So yeah, it was pretty cool. We had some food. It was all right. The beer was more so what we're here for, but we got our fix. Sat here, enjoyed the vibe, atmosphere, made some new friends, and people watched a little bit. So yeah, this is Ta Hien, Hanoi in 2025 in Vietnam. So on to more adventures. Let's go. Yeah, so we got here maybe 2 hours ago, and now look at how it transforms, guys. So this is absolutely insane, because the streets transform so rapidly. Because not too long ago, there was barely any seats here, but now I can barely get through. It is very, very hustling and bustling here. The word I'll describe this street and Hanoi, the old quarter, is options. There's so many options. There's like, for every business, there's 4 or 5 similar ones right next to them. So if there's one bar, there's gonna be 3 or 5 other bars. So this is foot traffic. Getting out of this place.
Hello, you are foreign. Wish me outside.
Yeah. So we're still actually on Ta Hien Street, but this area is more mild in atmosphere. Like, it's still like bars, but more restaurant bars rather than bar restaurants, if that makes sense. So yeah, there's a lot of these. All right, one of the things you guys definitely need to do in Hanoi is walk around the old quarter at night, because we're here in the daytime, but at night it totally transforms. There's so many lights, the stores are all lit up, and it is Lunar New Year season, so there's a lot of red and yellow lanterns everywhere. Most cities, you know, change a little bit at night, definitely tourist cities, but something about Vietnam, Hanoi, Da Nang, Nha Trang, and Saigon, and all the Vietnamese cities I've been in the nighttime, like, it totally transforms. It's almost unrecognizable, but yeah. All right, DVW fam, so we got a very special video coming to you guys today. So we're currently in Hanoi, Vietnam right now, right outside of the biggest market in Hanoi. It's called Cha Xuan. It's right behind me, and it's Lunar New Year season, so that's why you see a bunch of people out here in their traditional Vietnamese outfits and dresses. And like any major city in Vietnam, there's a lot of hustle and bustle and scooters. So yeah, let's check out the biggest market in Hanoi and see what they have to offer us. Let's go.
500.
500K? That's like 20 bucks for this. This mall is ginormous.
I don't speak English.
Come on. Yes. So some more luxury goods here. Ooh, I see the GGs, the Gucci. So this is typical on the streets of Vietnam. So this is the market. We're on the outskirts. We're gonna check it out, but this is a typical Vietnamese market in Hanoi. So you can buy some fresh veggies, meats, food here to bring home to cook. Looks like some dried squid out here. Hello, doggy. Doggy.
Áo giờ nó có để nó
So this is the company, the Hanoi Beer Company, and it makes sense that's in Hanoi, but
nó để
yeah, they even serve the beers on the street. But this is the factory or the company in which they make it. So that building there is the first college in Vietnam. It looks super ancient. It looks like a castle. I wonder how old it is. So that's why the first college the architecture looks so old, because it's over 500 years old. This is another thing you guys can do in Hanoi. We're checking out the Ho Tai, which means the West Lake. And we're taking a ride around on the scooter, but you guys can walk around, drive around the car. But the circumference is huge. I mean, far, wide, long, because we're driving around and we barely scratched the surface. Look at how big this lake is. There's only one of them, one side. Wow. Whoa. Wow. This is huge. Wow, look at the West Lake.
Yeah, another side.
It's another side of the West Lake. Wow, this is ginormous. Wow, so this, I thought was the West Lake itself because it's so big. It's only on one side. So you get nice cityscapes. But this one over here is the West Lake and it's ginormous. The bodies of water in Hanoi are insane. There's lakes, rivers, canals. Wow, it's nice. We're closing in on the West Lake Temple.
Yeah, West Lake Temple.
And before you get there, there's a bunch of restaurants, shops, stalls for food. And this is a very visited spot in Hanoi, the West Lake Temple. This is the entrance. So this is the entrance of the West Lake Temple, a popular destination in Hanoi here. So we're gonna check it out, walk inside, check out the temple and the lake. All right, DVW fam, so one of the top tourist destinations to visit in Hanoi is the West Lake, and there's so many areas to view it from because look how ginormous it is. There's the central lake near the city center, the old quarter that we saw before, the Lake of the Sword, but this lake is the biggest in Hanoi. There's so many crazy bodies of water throughout Vietnam and Hanoi. Rivers, lakes, canals, and this one is truly a wonder. Look at this. It almost looks like an ocean depending on where you're looking. Like if you're looking without the buildings, it's so huge. There's ripples and waves all throughout. And one of the best places to view it is this West Lake Temple, which is a beautiful Vietnamese temple with awesome ancient architecture right on the lake. So here it is, but it is beautiful. All these lanterns lit up right on this lake. The views are breathtaking here. Oh, so this is the Vietnam heritage tree I'm learning here, and this is a ginormous tree. I don't even know where it's growing from. Look at this. So I smell a lot of incense here from the temple. It's a real temple, so I smell the incense, the offerings, and also during the Lunar New Year season, these temples are going to be lit up figuratively and literally with people, decorations, because that is a very important holiday in Vietnam. So yeah. Vietnamese ancient architecture is always crazy to me. It's very sharp looking. Like it looks similar to Chinese ancient castles and all that, but I feel like the designs are more sharp and there's more dragons everywhere. Like in the design, the architecture. If you guys are into Avatar Last Airbender, it kind of looks like Fire Nation temples. Maybe they got their inspiration from these temples. Whoa.
Đồ này để người ta mua, này ta đem vô trong chùa ta cúng.
So these aren't souvenir stores next to the temple. They're actually offerings that you could buy.
Ấn Độ.
Here. Uh-huh.
Thấy không? Thấy không?
Yeah.
Giống như hồi xưa thế.
Yeah, so these stores are next to the temples and they're like offerings you could buy so you can.
Cá con chim để mình phóng sanh đó. Mình
Oh.
phải chiên cá nó quá chân là.
So they sell birds here so that you can like release them as an offering in the temples. And there's a lot of offerings here if you guys see things are packaged, because if you guys are Buddhists and you guys practice, you buy them and then you bring them to the temple for blessings or for tradition. So there's also fish and turtles here, and you could also buy them to set them into the lake, or you buy some of these marine life and then you put it into the West Lake here for offerings or for good luck, good fortune. So yeah, that's a thing you guys can do. Wow, the skyline is so beautiful from this West Lake. Look at that. Another heritage tree. Wow, it is ginormous. Look at that. Look at the branches. Wow. There's some golden oxes here. Wow, so this is another side of the temple of the West Lake here in Hanoi. Yeah, these Vietnamese temples are really distinct with their architecture. Like I said, there's always a lot of dragon accents on the temples. This is the Buddhist flag here. All right, so we're freeing the birds here onto the lake. Let's get a little bit closer. Bye-bye, little bird. Go.
Yeah.
That's something you're supposed to do here in this temple, or a tradition for good luck. But I'm just gonna let this guy go. So this is for good luck here in Vietnam. We got a bird here and we're gonna let it go. Fly away. Go. Woo! Out it goes. Yeah, that's the same one. You see those birds? They're the ones that I let go. Look.
A lot of them.
They're the ones that we let go. There's three. There's 1, 2, 3. The ones that we let go. Okay, there's one more. Maybe that's a bat. All right. Look at that. They're very happy and grateful to be out of the cage. And hopefully the rest of them are freed as well. But yeah, so if you guys see this video, maybe you guys could come here and free the rest of those birds so they could roam around the lake and enjoy the Hanoi cityscapes. Well, you're gonna be able to see so many different angles of this lake because it's the biggest lake in Hanoi and definitely a must visit when you guys are in Hanoi. I mean, look at these views, guys. You can see the cityscape of Hanoi, all those buildings. You see much more from this angle here. There is some red and blues from the sunset, and it's very peaceful and calm here. Absolutely beautiful. So you see those birds, the ones flying around? They're very grateful to be out here, and they still haven't left us. They're still around. Look at that. But yeah, this is the West Lake in Hanoi. Super beautiful. Look at the views. You can see all the cityscapes right there. Trees, nature. It's an absolute beauty, Hanoi. Wow, this is an absolutely beautiful area of Hanoi here from the West Lake Temple. Cause you got the temple right out back, and you got all these flowers, Lunar New Year's decorations, and this ginormous lake with the cityscape of Hanoi at night. Absolutely stunning. All right, this is views of the West Lake by night, guys. Absolutely stunning. Looks like something out of a movie. Doing a ride around of the West Lake in Hanoi at night. Looks absolutely stunning. Looks much different at night with all the lights than it did earlier on. This lake is so large that it'll probably take us a couple minutes, even on scooter, to go ride around. And this is the biggest lake in Hanoi. Not to be confused with the Return of the Sword Lake. That one's just a monumental central one. But this is the biggest And it is amazing. Guys, only in Vietnam we see coffee shops that you can mistake with hotels because they're all done up and lit up. So many nice coffee shops, little coffee shops, big coffee shops, all types of coffee shops in Vietnam. Alright, DVW fam, we have a treat for you guys. So, right across from us, we have a bunch of restaurants and bars, coffee shops lining this whole, I don't even know how many kilometers of land, because we were driving for about 30 minutes surrounding the circumference of this lake, and all along this lake there was a bunch of restaurants and coffee shops, hotels overlooking the West Lake here in Hanoi, the biggest lake in Hanoi. And I felt how big it was by that scooter ride because it took us a long time, but yeah. So here is the cheap eat street, the Bin Young here in the daytime. As you guys can see, there's still a lot of food operating, but not as much as in the nighttime because I would say more people go out to eat during dinner. But there's still some of the staples out here, like the pho spots, fried chicken spots, baked item spots. But the food might be more fresh and cooked to order in the nighttime. Oh, it's a really nice street in Hanoi. It's a really nice scenic drive down Hanoi. Looks like some different type of architecture. I don't know, I want to say French. Oh, this looks like a really big cathedral. It's like a yellow cathedral. There's a Virgin Mary holding Jesus there.
Oh, yeah. Citadel.
Citadel.
A long time ago.
This is the ancient Hanoi Citadel here. It's Lunar New Year season, as you guys can see. A lot of people are wearing ao dais. And there's a lot of flowers everywhere. Another Hanoi landmark, the French ancient water pump here. And alright, so we're strolling along, riding along the side of the West Gate. This is a I haven't drank as much coffee as I have on this trip. I'm not a huge coffee drinker, but Vietnamese coffee is built different and it's integrated in the culture because there's thousands of coffee shops in each major city. In this area is absolutely crazy with all the large skyscrapers and buildings. Feels like you're driving in Tron Legacy. It's crazy. Look at all these large buildings lit up, touching the sky. Definitely my favorite part of the drive in Hanoi, getting to these areas where there's a bunch of skyscrapers, businesses, and hotels. Alright, so we're at our Bun Cha spot in the old quarter. In Vietnamese, it's called Foco of Hanoi here. So we chose this spot because every time we passed by here, there were so many customers hustling and bustling. The crowds look a little more mild now, but hey, we'll get some peace and quiet while we eat. But let me show you guys the Bun Cha process. And I love Vietnam because you guys can see all of their cooking and love that they put into all their dishes right out front for your viewing pleasure. So yeah, let's check it out. So we got the main lady in charge here. Usually at one of these spots there is a cook out front. Chicken dishes, so look, they got the whole setup here. You can see them roasting some. There's the chicken out front, a deep fried chicken. Ooh, wow. The deep fried sticky rice. This friend here, and he breaks it all apart. Listen to that. You guys hear that? Woo, it's crispy. That's how you know it's crispy. Listen to that sound. Okay, so we got Tan here, and he is preparing the chicken before they fry it for us. Yes. So this is the chicken. This is how they marinate it. Right over here on the street. Wow. So it's like hanging. Ooh, it smells good. Look at this. So this is the process of the grilling here. So this is the cooking process of the duck here. I almost thought it was chicken, but it's duck. So it looks like it's rotating. Mike.
Mạnh.
Man. We got man here. It means strong. He's helping us out with a duck. Here. It looks so juicy.
Ngon quá.
Wow.
Rất là ngon.
Wow, right from the grill there. We're waiting for a minute for this because there's a lot of competition to get this plate because there's so many customers, and as you guys can see, they're rotating it fresh. And we got a fresh one there. On fresh out the kitchen. The kitchen's right there. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I don't like condensed beef blood when it comes into like hutio and soups or anything like that. I've never had condensed duck blood jelly, but they say when in Rome, do as the Romans do. When you're somewhere local, do as the locals do. And this is, you know, a popular item. Most people here have this dish, so this is how you're supposed to eat it. We put some fish sauce into it, some herbs, aromatics. There's already nuts, and there's duck liver in here, so try it out. Vietnam for you guys. Always assume nothing is a sidewalk because there'll be scooters everywhere. This is the Japanese bridge here in Hanoi. So I was actually having so much fun in Hanoi, touring Vietnam and eating so much good Bun Cha Hanoi and Vietnamese food that I forgot to do an outro there. So I am currently at the airport on the way to Hong Kong for some more Danvers Road adventures. So yeah, had a great time in Hanoi. As you guys can see, it's a great city. My first impressions, you know, I haven't been here since 7 years. It has changed rapidly, unrecognizable, like I've been saying throughout the whole video. A lot of great street food, a lot of big buildings, lights, characteristics of a lot of cities in Vietnam. So yeah, had a great time here. So on to more adventures. So I hope you guys like this video. If you guys do, as always, please hit that like button, comment down below if you have any suggestions for us, and subscribe for more Danvers World food and travel videos. See you guys in the next one. Deuces.